now listening to Wrestle Report Australia.
You're here. I'm here. Let's do this!
That's right, everybody. You're here and we're here, so let's do this. You are tuned in to another edition of Wrestle Report Australia. As always, I am Mike and this is Lon.
China.
And we are the newest team bringing you all the news that you need to know in the wrestling world and the fight game. Today is Tuesday the 27th of March and this is our weekly Raw review.
Yeah.
I did not mind Raw this week. It was a bit filler-ish, but there were some good segments.
Yeah, there were some good segments. Couple of good matches. It was it was a bit slow. Like it might pick up a bit towards Mania.
Well, there's only one more to go.
There's two, I'm pretty sure.
Not one.
Only one.
One. Big Match John. That was his focal point of the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Was there is 1 week to go until WrestleMania. Because I believe it's like there's 2 weeks or so to WrestleMania, but I think there might only be one more
Raw
edition of Raw.
Yeah.
So yes, one week to go. So I was a bit disappointed in that aspect of how there wasn't really much going on, and stuff that they could have capitalized on a bit more. They didn't. Specifically, the Nia Jax situation. I don't think that was portrayed properly this week.
No, it was like she was calm for a
Yeah.
match.
Mm.
Straight up, as soon as that bell went, she should have just went straight for the attack.
Well,
That's the thing I noticed. Like, she was so calm after wanting to destroy him.
yeah.
Yeah.
She walked out chilled and relaxed and this and that. But we're jumping the gun there. But there was some certain parts of the show that I believe could have been done a bit better. But we do start off with a very good segment this week. There was no warning or anything, but we started off the show with the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman, of course. Brock Lesnar never comes out by himself.
He forgot a pretty big pop as well.
Oh, they were loving him.
Yeah.
They were loving him. Naturally, they talk about what happened last week, where Brock just beat the hell out of Roman. And then we saw the footage, just in case we didn't remember properly. And when we cut back to Lesnar, the crowd are cheering. They loved it, because it was Roman getting slayed. And then Paul Heyman says that this is the part where the breaking news banner would pop up on his screen. And he says that the breaking news is that Roman Reigns' temporary suspension has been lifted.
And everyone boos.
Yeah, no one was really happy about that.
The kids and mums.
Yeah,
They cheer.
the generic fans.
Yeah.
And then he says, I know what you're all thinking. We all know the script. And that's the Roman Reigns. You're going to hear that music. And then he mocks Roman's music.
Yeah.
Turn on. I thought that was pretty funny when he started mocking the music. And we all think that Roman's going to interrupt. But breaking news number 2 is that Roman Reigns is not here tonight. And he says that that's not because of Brock. He says that's because Roman was raised by his father, who is a legend in this business, Sika, and his uncle that is also a legend in this business, Arthur. And all those other Samoan legends in that bloodline that raised Roman Reigns to be a Samoan badass, raised him to compete, to fight, and to wrestle, and that they raised him to win. But it's a shame that they didn't raise him to be a man, because a man would be here. And then he once again imitates Roman Reigns, and he says, wasn't it Roman that was out here a couple of weeks ago saying, hey bro, I don't care if I'm advertised every week. I show up whether I'm advertised or not. I'm here. I thought that was funny. Paul Heyman had me laughing in this promo.
Yeah. I thought the Paul Heyman promos lately have been lacking.
Yeah.
But this one was on point the
I
whole
was
time.
cracking up, man.
It was ripping him.
Yeah. Straight shooting him, eh?
Yep.
And I was loving it. I was absolutely loving it. And he, like I said, he was imitating Roman for dissing Brock a few weeks ago about not showing up. And he says that if it was the other way around and it was Roman that delivered that beating to Brock, Brock would be here this week, putting that championship down on the ground and telling Roman to man up and take it from him. But Roman is not man enough to take the belt from Lesnar because he's not man enough to even show up tonight to take another beating from Lesnar, and that is why Brock will win at WrestleMania. As Heyman is finishing up his promo, the crowd suddenly start to cheer, and it is shown to us that Roman is walking or kind of gingerly limping through the crowd towards the ring.
If his suspension's been lifted, why is he coming through the crowd?
Well, no one thought he was there. He was hiding. He probably bought a ticket.
He's like, oh, fuck. Paul just ripped me about my theme music, so...
Yeah, I better get in there.
Yeah, I better just go through the crowd.
We see him come through. He picks up a chair. But Brock, once again, just bulldozes him.
Yeah, mad clothesline.
Yeah, that was a stiff spot. I like that. But when it looked like it was going to be, a trademark beatdown, Roman kind of fought back, pushed Brock into the ring post. I thought Brock was split because there were some camera angles that made it look like he had a bit of blood on his forehead.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been another trademark one spot bust up for Lesnar. But no, it wasn't. It was just a bit of redness. And it looked like Roman was actually going to get the better hand.
Normally when Brock does that spot, he's always split.
Exactly, that's what I thought. And I saw him later on in the segment when he was beating the crap out of Reigns, that it looked like he was busted open from some angles. I was like, oh my god, no way. But yeah, it looked like Roman was going to actually get the upper hand this week. He beats Brock down with the steel chair a couple times, and then he looks like he's going for his Superman punch off the steps, but Brock catches him and then just...
Belly to belly, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the outside on the mat.
Yeah, that was good.
And then he pumped him with the steps twice, wasn't it? Or so, 2 times or so. And then he left.
All I know is that freaking Reigns just got freaking pumped again.
Again, and the crowd was loving it. He got hit with the chair a couple more times.
Yeah, Lesnar just lets loose with the freaking chair shots, eh?
Yeah. And then he left, and then he comes back and delivered him an F5 on top of the steps.
Yeah, that was good.
And it looked like when he had him up on his shoulders before he dropped him down, it looked like he said, "You ain't shit."
Yeah.
And then F5'd him. And I was like, oh, wow.
He aims like really well for that F5. And...
Yeah, he did it well. I have to say, even though we haven't seen much of him, his last couple of either matches or brawl segments, he's looked really good.
Yeah,
like, he hasn't been...
He's made up for being away, I reckon.
Yeah, he hasn't, he's been reckless in the way that Lesnar is, but, he's delivering entertainment.
I'm so surprised that the whole roster hasn't run down. I was so sure.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for it. But
that's normally every Lesnar segment, but... Yeah,
I have a feeling...
They've switched it up.
I think it's trying to get the sympathy vote for Reigns. Yeah. I'm quite sure that we will see another beatdown of Roman Reigns next week.
Yeah, that's silly, but I reckon they should have made out like he's another guy that's just going to take it to Brock Lesnar, you know what I mean? Not make him look so weak. And, keep him away with this suspension, making him look like a badass. And then, have him come back and like himself. Yeah. And then go into Mania, then it's going to be a big fight. Not have friggin', the sympathy act. No one buys it. Maybe. Not for Roman Reigns anyways.
Well, maybe they're just doing this then. Maybe because we know that Roman's winning at WrestleMania. WWE knows that we're not happy about that. So maybe they're like, alright, fuck it. They're not going to be happy at WrestleMania. So how about in the weeks leading to WrestleMania, we just have Brock beat the shit out of the guy that they hate. Yeah. Giving us that, alright, well, you can watch him get pummeled for a couple of weeks and then he's going to be a champ. Yeah. Because the crowd were loving it. Every chair shot, one more time. But yeah, that F5 on the steps was good. He's been looking very well lately, and that just does lead into the speculation. What's he doing? Is he sticking with WWE? Is he going to UFC? Who knows?
The one thing I didn't like about that segment is when Brock delivered the F5 onto the steps, Roman, instead of selling, he's too worried about fixing his hair up.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did.
And then he started selling, which was fucking... What the fuck? Just let your hair hang for a bit so it looks like you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about fixing it up because your face is on camera.
Yeah, we don't want to see a close-up of your schnoz.
Hey.
We want to see you hurt. But yeah, I liked how it did end though.
They kept showing that in the replay and I was like, how does it look like he's hurt? He just fixed his hair. And then like he's gasping for air and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It was a cool image though with Brock standing on the steps, holding the belt though. I liked that.
Brock done everything friggin' perfect.
Yeah, and he did last week as well.
That F5 flush on the stairs, that was my favourite part.
One of my favourite parts is seeing the replay of last week, and it's when he'd already left and they tied Roman to the stretcher, and then he comes sprinting back out again.
Yeah.
Just the look of him then is just so funny. But yeah, that was a good way to start Raw this week, I think.
Yeah.
They did well. And then we're told basically some of the things that are going to happen. The match that was made last week between KANE and John Cena is now a no disqualification match. So that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just chucked that in there. I don't know why.
It's just like a couple of weeks ago it was a no disqualification match between Braun Strowman and Elias, and then we were told it was now a Symphony of Destruction match.
Maybe because Kane's a bit old and can't put on...
He's getting Undertaker WrestleMania treatment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to see a no disqualification match between KANE and John Cena. We're also told that Ronda Rousey is here live this week. And we're also told that Nia Jax versus Mickie James will be up next after we come back from commercial.
Good old sticky stains.
Yep, sticky stains. Something very interesting though, which I'm sure you noticed and that I'm sure a lot of our listeners would have noticed. Yes, Nia Jax came out first. Like we said earlier on in the show, she didn't look mean enough. Then Mickie James comes out to Alexa Bliss's music.
Yeah, that's because Alexa was with her. I don't know, they do that.
That was just silly.
It wasn't weird to me, I don't reckon.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. Naturally, the winner of this match was Nia Jax. They're going to make her look strong, especially after the storyline that is happening at the moment. She won with a big Samoan drop. Bliss immediately tried to attack her.
It was a military press.
Into a Samoan drop, yeah.
I really liked that.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was hectic.
And then Bliss, immediately tried to attack her after the match with a shot. Did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And
she runs. And this is what I meant. Like, they should have done so much more with that segment. That was it.
Yeah. It was like Nia kind of chased her up the ramp a bit. But
she's in the ring and then she's like, at first, I swear she called her like a little Bliss.
Yeah, and then she was like, screw it, I'll say bitch.
Yeah, then she's like, you little bitch. Hey.
Yeah, it was like, a bad.
You little bitch.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad.
And then she, like, Alexa's standing at the top of the ramp, like, looking back at her. And then Nia's like, oh, you want to stand there? And then she jumps out the ring and starts chasing her up the ramp. But then, yeah, she gets to the top and turns around, looks at the crowd, and then walks away. Like, walks to the back. I don't know, it was weird.
It could have been done a lot better. Like, to me, that could have been Alexa took off, so that was an opportunity to beat down Mickie James. Make a statement right there, you know?
Yeah.
To make Nia Jax look like a badass, especially after all the crap that they were talking shit about her. Like, instead of just leaving, you could have, that could have been a monumental moment for Nia Jax. Get her a bit more hype leading up to WrestleMania.
They're too worried about the freaking packages for Ronda Rousey.
Oh, no.
The 50 freaking packages we get every week.
Well, anyway, that's our first piece of action on Monday Night Raw. How many LAN stars does the first match get?
Just probably a 2.
2.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sticky Stains.
I don't know. I reckon it should have just been a quick squash match.
Jobber, bang.
Yeah. Nia just, I don't know, she looked really slow in this.
Mm. The only good thing really was the finish.
Yeah, the finish was fucking amazing. I reckon that was good.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Predictions for the match at WrestleMania. What do you think?
Nia will win.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Bliss is at her time. And, I don't know, I can see them. They've been trying to push it, like, Nia for ages. Like, slowly. But now she's finally getting her chance, so.
It'll be good to see what she can do with it.
Nah, she'll win.
I'm hoping so.
We'll see a new Raw Women's Champion and a new SmackDown Women's Champion. That's my prediction.
Bold prediction. We're then told that after commercial we will have a segment called Respect the Authority, which is naturally a little video interview package that shows Triple H and Stephanie McMahon training and talking about their WrestleMania match between Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. Unlike last week, the Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey one I wasn't really a big fan of. Like, it seemed a bit boring and like it...
No, I reckon it was alright, like, seeing Kurt and Ronda, like, together.
Yeah, like, it wasn't...
And then talking about, like, the wrestling and MMA background and stuff, like, it just showed how they were similar.
But then she had to go in and talk about how depressed she was and this and that.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need that sob story.
They're just trying every way possible to...
Get her over.
Yeah, get her over.
But unlike that, where I was like, yeah, it's alright, but this one, the Triple H and Steph one, I loved it. I loved this little promo.
Yeah, it was... I've never seen Stephanie work out before.
I have.
And she looks like a beast.
Yeah, she does. She like, DeFranco is not lying, man. Like, because naturally, me being the social media guy that I am, I followed everyone, and they really do, man. They're in the gym at like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., and Steph's putting in that work just as much as Triple H is, and Triple H is looking jacked. He's got a mad beard growing, like, and they were really serious in this promo. I liked it.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
So yeah, like, that was a good little segment. When I heard it was coming up, I was like, I don't really want to watch this. I'm sick of hearing about this match, to be honest. But then I watched it, and I liked it, which is good. I like when that happens. But then we have one of my personal low points of Monday Night Raw, and that is because, you know, it's a bit hard for people to put on a good match when the crowd doesn't care.
Yeah.
And that was what kind of happened here. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus TJP and Drew Gulak in a tag team cruiserweight match. The sad thing is, we've got a ring full of talent there. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are, of course, the two men that will challenge each other for the vacant cruiserweight championship at WrestleMania. But there is no heat there or anything. They're too respectable.
It's because, like, not enough people watch 205 Live to get into the, into the wrestlers and into the story that they're trying to tell. They put on good matches. Pretty much every cruiserweight match is, pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, the crowd, they're just not getting enough eyes on the product, so, so how can people get into it?
I've said this from the beginning. I don't believe 205 Live should be its own show. I believe they should just have them on SmackDown or on Raw, and just don't obviously flood us with them. But, every week or two, have a cruiserweight match. Have a cruiserweight segment backstage. Keep them involved on a main show like it used to be. And then when you've got a chance, instead of having us see Elias versus Rhino, like we saw later on this edition of Raw, have a cruiserweight match. Then that way, the filler matches that we see and the filler segments that we see actually have meaning instead of just to fucking kill time.
It's just because of the direction they're going. Just these random matches just don't make sense.
Well,
they shouldn't have got rid of Enzo. They need
more
more character.
You know what? You know what that makes them? SAWFT soft.
Yeah, they need more character.
He was perfect as that champ, man. He seriously, he made that show.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, since he left, it's been lacking. And so, yes, like I said, we now have Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the vacant championship. And in this match, you've got TJP, who is a former cruiserweight champion in himself, and Drew Gulak. It wasn't a long match. It wasn't a crazy match. It was just kind of showcasing the two people in the championship match at WrestleMania, really. Mustafa Ali won with his, I'm not sure what he calls it.
054.
The 054.
Backwards 450.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And then the two had a happy little face-off.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to their match at Mania.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be a good match, but it'll be on the pre-show. It's alright.
I don't know if they will. I reckon it'll be on the main show.
After the debacle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a good match, but like I said, it won't matter if the crowd don't care about it.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it's diehard fans at WrestleMania. So maybe they will.
Maybe.
Maybe they follow every piece of WWE programming. Maybe Cedric Alexander's who everyone is coming to WrestleMania to see. But yeah, so the competitors at Mania picked up the victory this week on Monday Night Raw. How many Lance Stars does this match get?
I'll just give it a 3. Just the average.
The average, well, it's better than Nia Jax versus Sticky Stains, so
yeah,
that's good. After that, we led to commercial, and when we come back from commercial, we have something that I'm not very happy about.
Yeah, another Miz TV segment.
With?
Rollins and friggin' Balor, which happened two
weeks ago.
I thought that straight away.
2 weeks ago. A highlight of this, though, was to start the whole segment, was welcome home chants. Naturally to the Miz, we're in Cleveland and that's where he's from. So we've got the whole crowd chanting welcome home for a minute or so, and then he just casually just says, I live in LA. Just like a big dick.
Yeah, just had to get his heyday.
Yeah, and I loved it. I thought it was funny. And then he says he likes to air things out in the open when he has a problem instead of hiding behind doors. And then he directs his attention to the Miztourage and asks them how they feel this whole Miztourage thing is going. And for a second, I thought I was right, my friend.
Yeah.
I thought I was right.
Yeah, I know. I was like, bullshit, Jones is not right.
And I was at home saying, yes, please.
He wanted to prove
I
wrong.
wanted to prove it. Oh.
I was like, no, it's not happening yet.
And, so yeah, they say they're enjoying themselves, and he says that's good because he's not. He brought them here and they repay him by failing him when he needs them the most. He can't even count on them on the road to WrestleMania, he says. And they try and dim the situation down and say they're doing the best, and the Miz says, well, he deserves better. Tells Bo to go leave himself back to catering because he'd be nothing without the Miz. Seth Rollins' music hits, and he makes his entrance. Quick to cut onto the mic and says he's not usually a fan of Miz TV because it's terrible television. But this is actually great stuff. And he comes in, he says he doesn't really mean to interrupt. He knows he's a guest on the show later on, but he just wants to come out and, chill out and watch what's happening. And Miz says, you know what, you did come out too early. I'm supposed to introduce you first. And Seth says, well, I'm here, so why not let him help with this Miztourage problem? And he says that he believes that the Miztourage feel like they're underappreciated and he asks Miz when the last time he thanked them was. And that was pretty funny. Because the look on Miz's face, and then Seth's like, because without them, you wouldn't be Intercontinental Champion. And that started him leading the crowd in a Miztourage chant.
Yeah.
And I loved it. The whole crowd was chanting Miztourage. And Seth looks more comfortable in the face role now.
I hate him in the face role. I reckon he sucks.
I don't.
I just like his in-ring work. I don't like him on the mic at the moment.
I thought both him and Finn did well in this segment.
I freaking hate it. I seriously don't like their gimmicks. I don't know. It's just something about them. They're too happy. I don't know. They just seem like a joke to me.
I don't know.
It's Finn Balor and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I know.
Like the best one of the best WWE champions in like the last 5 years.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
One of the best talents
from New Japan.
Yeah.
The original Bullet Club leader.
Yeah.
Getting
Good old Fergal.
Yeah, Fergal. Getting little segments with Miztourage and Miz.
Yeah.
And trying to be funny in it, comedic.
Yeah,
it's shit.
He needs to be more serious, and if he wants to be comedic, his comedic aspect needs to be him being a dick.
You know, like, even at the end of it, like, I know I'm jumping the gun here.
No, that's alright. It's,
yeah, go on. You continue.
We just basically said, Miz says he knows that, he's grateful, for the Miztourage, and that they're grateful for him, because, for everything that he's done to elevate them, but even without them, he'd still be the champ, he'd still be a megastar, and he'd still be, and before he can say anything else, Bo Dallas called him a phony A-lister who couldn't fight.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
I was loving that. Bo Dallas coming in with the zingers. And then Seth immediately came in and was like, sorry, I didn't really actually hear you then. Can you actually say that again? What did you say? I think we all need to know what you just said. And Miz was like, yeah. What did you just say? He wasn't happy about it. And then before Bo can respond, Finn Balor made his entrance. And he says, hey, I know I'm a guest too. And just like you needed Seth's help earlier, looks like you need my help now. Everyone's trying to figure out what Bo Dallas just said. And I know it's difficult to hear in the ring, but I was backstage and I heard it crystal clear that Bo Dallas said The Miz is the biggest jerk he's ever met.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Why?
Because he's being a smart ass. I thought they did well. Like, in the next bit where Bo's like, I didn't call him a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Miz goes on to say that he's trying to motivate him, and he's only 34 days away from becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champ and the best Intercontinental Champ there ever was. And this bit's I loved this part from Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, where Miz was naming names, Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, and then he dropped the Mr. Perfect line.
Yeah. And
Curtis got mad, and Miz was like, I'm sorry, it just slipped. And then Seth and Finn came in like, no, I think you meant that, man. And Finn's like, yeah, that didn't sound like a slip, bro. So I was laughing then. I thought that was a good little moment.
That's stupid.
But yeah, it looked like the Miztourage was about to implode, but it was all a ploy. Lam was right. Jones was wrong.
That's right.
It was all a setup. The Miztourage and the Miz then attack Seth and Finn. The club come out and save and get the Miztourage away, and then Finn and Seth both beat the Miz out of the ring. They have a little face-off. Miz comes back in and they beat him out again, but then Seth turns around and gets taken out by Finn. Finn then holds up the Intercontinental belt, standing over Seth Rollins while the Miz is down on the outside, and that ends that segment. We then see Asuka walking to the ring backstage as we go to commercial, so naturally she will be coming out
Did you talk about the club coming out?
I did. I said they came out for the save
Oh, yeah.
and took the Miztourage away, and that's how we ended up with the 3 competitors in the ring. But yeah, because they didn't do much. They just came down and just took the Miztourage away, really.
Yeah.
But we find out why later on in the show. Another thing that we've seen recently, quite a few times. But yeah, like I said, Asuka is up next after commercial. But before you get to hear that, we are going to take a little commercial break. But don't you worry, because Mike and Lon will be right back with a little bit more Wrestle Report Australia.
Whoop, whoop. China!
Hello. You're currently listening to Wrestle Report Australia. The boys are just taking a little break right now, so please sit back and enjoy this brief intermission brought to you by the one and only Sergeant Sirius. Take it away, Sarge.
Thanks, Lola. I'm Sergeant Sirius, and I am the four-time testosterone champion of the world. The most serious power man in this game. You think I'm kidding? I can lift a truck before you can even lift your dick. That's how serious this is. And do you know what calms me down after a hard day of kicking the world in its ass? That's sitting down and listening to the newest and most amazing wrestling and fight podcast in the world today. Wrestle Report Australia, the only place to go to get these pods. Hit the like and subscribe button now. Back to you, butt nuggets!
Welcome back, everybody. This is our weekly Raw review. As always, I am Mike, and this is Lon.
Yo, yo.
We left off at Asuka walking to the ring, going into commercial, and when we come back, we saw a brief little backstage segment of Kane talking smack, defending the Undertaker's honor against John Cena, and telling him that he's going to send him to hell later on in the night. So that made me want to watch that match.
Sending him to hell, so that made me want to watch it.
Yep. And then Asuka made her entrance. We don't know who she's versing. And once she's in the ring, we then have Charles Caruso. And she's ringside with a woman named Jamie Frost.
Jamie Frost.
And it's revealed that she is Asuka's opponent tonight. And it's also revealed that this is her first match ever.
She's never had a match before.
She's never had a match.
This is her first match ever.
Monday Night Raw against Asuka.
Straight from training, boom, straight into WWE. First match.
Charles asks her, what makes you think that you're ready for Asuka? And then good old Jamie says that, well, Asuka says that nobody is ready for Asuka.
Why does every chick use this against her?
I don't know, because they can't think of anything
everyone.
original.
I swear Dana Brooke friggin' done it like not long ago. Who else? Alexa.
Yeah, everyone says it.
This jobber.
Asuka likes to say that nobody is ready for blah blah blah.
Well, I'm ready. Yeah, fucking Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
After the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This chick says, Asuka has never seen me before, so she has no idea what I'm capable of. So as far as I'm concerned, Asuka isn't ready for me.
She must be related to CENA.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that leads us into Asuka versus Jamie Frost, the much anticipated debut of Jamie Frost. The match was over in about 30 seconds. Just a little snap kick to the head.
The savage kick.
It was over. Winner, Asuka. How many Lance stars?
It's a jobber match, so
Five.
I'll give it 2 because
Five.
that's the way it should have went. Asuka just friggin', smashing her.
One kick, bang.
Boom.
And then that leads us into quite possibly my favourite segment of this week's edition of Raw, and that is the commentary team talking about the main event from last week, the ultimate deletion. Delete. And the reason this was one of my favourite segments is because Corey Graves absolutely buried Michael Cole for everything he was saying last week. And that was pretty funny.
They even show the tweet from Matt Hardy.
Yeah, calling him an obsolete mule.
He's spewing in his muzzle.
And Corey Graves lets, it was just funny. like Corey Graves lets Cole know that Vanguard 1's got him in his sights.
Yeah.
Michael Cole's like, who's that? And then we see a recap of the things that happened, and then it's the last one, and Senor Benjamin's in the background. Michael Cole's like, who's that? Who's that guy? Corey's like, it's Senor Benjamin. he takes care of the grounds at the Holy Compound. I just thought that was funny. Corey Graves is the best advocate for the woken gimmick. Honestly.
Yeah, Michael Cole's an idiot.
Yeah. He
Vince's bitch.
He even said some shit again today. But the recap led us into a very woken segment.
Yes.
Matt Hardy was on Raw this week, and he said that as a result of the Ultimate Deletion, the essence from the vessel known as Bray Wyatt is no more. The evil stench of his tyrannical reign has been replaced by the sweet smell of Senor Benjamin's spring daisies. The Great War is finally over, but he has now set his sights to the stage of grandest, WrestleMania. He says he will honour the legacy of Humongous Wonder number 8, the great giant known as Andre, and that anyone that opposes him shall be deleted.
Delete.
So yeah, Woken Matt Hardy has declared his entrance into the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. So there's a couple of people now that are slated to be in that match, but then Michael
he
Cole...
better win it.
He better win it. Where else would he go?
Who knows?
Yeah.
They could have kept the Ultimate Deletion for Mania
Yeah, they should have.
instead of putting him in that. What's the point? Imagine if Bray comes out as Husky Harris in it. He's going into the lake and...
Comes back, eh?
I don't know if you... Did you see that video at the live event?
What video?
It's Bray Wyatt. He must have had a match or something. And Matt's come out and telling him that he needs change. And then he's like getting like this whole change, like chant going.
What?
And the headline was like, Matt Hardy teasing that Bray Wyatt will be repackaged, yeah. So apparently they're going ahead with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Michael Cole called Matt Hardy's promo this week obnoxious again. What the fuck? And then we get another recap of things that have happened recently, but this time it is the Sasha Banks and Bayley situation. Don't need to tell you. We already know what happened. And then we come back to them backstage. Their friendship is finally imploding. Bayley actually had a good line this week. I liked it. Sasha called her a loser. Bayley says that Sasha keeps screwing her over because she knows that she can't beat her. And Sasha goes on to say, well, I'm a 4-time Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Bayley was like, yeah? How long did you keep it?
Yeah.
Savage. And then that led us in...
Bayley's got shit delivery.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it.
She's like, but how long did you keep it? She should like be more up in her face.
Yeah,
like,
getting all... Because Sasha was
Right.
getting all up in her grill, man. She was like, doing that head movement shit that she does. But then we had a women's brawl. We don't really see any backstage women brawls
No.
these days. And it was a good one.
Yeah, it was decent.
I didn't dislike it.
They're obviously trying to hype you for a match at Mania.
Yeah, well, we already knew that.
Yeah.
But I don't like this business of we're 1 week away from WrestleMania and they're still making matches for WrestleMania.
I saw the card the other day. I swear there's like 16 matches.
Yeah.
Has that even happened before?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Probably.
I swear there'd only be 10, 11 maybe matches, including pre-show. I've never seen a card this stacked. It's like they've tried to chuck everything in there.
And everyone as they possibly can.
Unless they're going for longer this year or something. I don't know.
And a bit of potential news here, ladies and gentlemen. We aren't completely sure if we're going to do this yet, but you might actually get to see our first reaction video when WrestleMania rolls around, because we know that not many people would like to sit here and basically listen to 4 hours of me and my good colleague here reviewing WrestleMania. I'm sure everyone will be watching it, and it would be much better to get our play-by-play reactions than, our reactions after the show. But we're not sure yet. We may do the podcast. We may do a brief little recap.
We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, WrestleMania is looking pretty massive this year. So I don't know how they're going to play it out. A 5-hour show seems a bit too crazy.
I don't know. Hopefully it's alright. I'm just not looking forward to that main event.
I know what you are looking forward to, though. Braun!
Yeah.
Because that leads us into Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. Of course, Braun Strowman is challenging for the tag team championships, the Raw tag team championships at WrestleMania. His partner still unknown. Braun Strowman is the first to enter. Gets a good reaction as always. He's over.
Yeah.
He is over. And then the Bar come out together. They cut a funny little promo on the way to the ring. Cesaro doing the Braun.
And Testy popped.
Testy popped at the end. He was nailing it too at the start.
Yeah.
When he did it, I was like, yeah. And then he did the Testy pop. I was like, oh. But that was pretty funny. They want to know who Braun's partner's going to be. Braun says, you know what, I'll tell you if you can get in here and beat me. And Sheamus says, they want to know right now. That's not fair. The crowd started "Get These Hands" chant. So Braun's like, yeah, maybe you'll get an answer, but I can guarantee you that you're going to get these hands. The match begins much like last week, where it was Braun Strowman versus Cesaro. This week, Sheamus gave him a bit of a hard match.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a Braun Strowman run-over match. They made it look not difficult because you don't want to make him look weak, but it made it look like a bit of hard work.
It looks like Braun's adapting to put on the longer
Matches, yeah.
It's good.
And they were even playing on the fact, like, when he went over the rope, they were like, oh, he tweaked his knee. And then they tried to play off that throughout the match, saying he was a bit slower.
Tweaked his knee. I didn't see nothing.
I didn't see nothing either. Oh, did he just tweak his knee? I think so. No. But they tried to play off that.
Yeah.
Trying to say, like, oh, it's not the same Braun Strowman we're used to seeing. But I like that. I like that they put on because like Cesaro, we don't want to see Sheamus just get buried.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a good. I liked it. I liked this match. But naturally, the winner was Braun. Because we're not gonna have him lose.
Lose to Sheamus.
If he just came out and beat a whole bunch of tag teams in a battle royal, he's not gonna lose a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good match. Sheamus didn't look bad. Braun is adapting.
Every week they do good with him.
Yeah.
They just book him right, and I noticed he's just going to grow so much. I can tell. This is the first homegrown talent that they've built properly.
Imagine what he's going to look like in 10 years, man.
Fucking probably Hall of Fame already.
How many Lion Stars does Braun Strowman versus Sheamus get?
5! No. Just 3.
3? Really?
Yeah.
I would have probably, if I gave stars, it's documented that I don't give stars, but I probably would have given this one a 4. I'd say.
Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate is a 4.
That's a 4?
That's a 4.
What's a 5?
A 5? 5 would be...
If that's a 4...
A 5 would be Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho.
But that's not in WWE.
Huh?
That's not in WWE.
Yeah, that's the standard. The Rock versus Austin, WrestleMania 17. That's 5 star.
I want your just. This is totally off topic, but I want to know: is this a 5-star match? War Games.
War Games, yeah, that's a 5-star. 100%.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. That match was full of friggin' action.
Okay, well that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm surprised that you didn't give Pete Dunne Tyler Bate a 5. But after commercial, we have the Ronda Rousey segment. But this wasn't a segment I was expecting. I was expecting Rousey to come out, talk a bit of stuff, and then, leave. But Kurt is the first to make his entrance. He introduces Ronda Rousey and he lets her know that even though WrestleMania is the most intimidating stage, after watching her train, he knows she's ready. But so are Triple H and Steph, so even though it's going to be fun, it ain't going to be easy. She says she didn't come for easy, and she wants to earn everything that she gets. She calls Steph trust fund tough.
I don't think she wants to earn it. I don't think she's made it clear that she wants to.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've heard it enough.
Yeah.
I think she needs to come out with this line maybe next time.
Plus being there the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, even though she didn't actually appear on Raw last week, she came out after the show.
And she wants to earn it.
Yeah. But in saying that, she's not the main event segment this week. And when I was told she was going to be on Raw, I naturally assumed Ronda Rousey's closing the show. But no, she's about halfway through the show. Which is good. I like that. That means they're not really shoving her down our throats. They're
I think you should go back on that statement.
Well,
they're not really shoving her down our throats. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, but...
Raw is Rousey now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, they could have...
Every friggin' segment. When they can't think of, something to put in the show that's Rousey package.
Yeah, but bro, she doesn't give a damn about your reputation.
Oh, fuck.
Dear.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, she goes on to call Steph trust fund tough, limousine tough, personal trainer tough. But then says she's going to rip her arm out of her socket because that's her go-to line.
She's better on the mic this week.
Yeah, definitely. But then the shocking turn of events was Absolution making their entrance. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
And to me, it's not a very smart move.
It's just Paige pretty much just trying to get Ronda in Absolution.
Yeah.
And then she's like, thanks for the offer, but no.
And then it was a beatdown.
Yeah.
Ronda fucked him up. And then went to break Mandy Rose's arm. And Kurt was like, no.
You know what I thought? I thought Paige was seriously going to get into it with her or something.
Same.
Because Daniel Bryan just got cleared. And I was like,
oh, maybe she's getting cleared.
Yeah.
One thing I hated about this segment was the amount of times that Paige called Ronda Rousey baby girl.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's all I friggin' took away from it.
Yeah, the amount of times that I heard that, I was like, oh my god.
Baby girl. Paige, you're like 26. Ronda's like 34? Who's the baby girl?
Yeah, I know. But other than that, wasn't bad. It's definitely building Ronda in a good way.
Yeah. She looked alright. I noticed that Kurt full blocked Mandy Rose.
Yeah. But I think that was
Is he allowed to do that?
Is that sexual abuse?
No. Sexual abuse? What the fuck? I think that's just fucking assault.
Assault? What? He stopped an assault.
Yo, well,
but then allowed one to take place.
I don't know.
He'll forget about it next week. It's okay.
Aren't they fucking... They're not allowed to make contact, the male and female.
That's true.
In WWE.
Yeah, I know. Gone are the days of the powerbomb to a table.
Bobbery.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just to set up the sneak attack from Sonya. But I mean, I know what you mean. But it wasn't a bad segment, all in all.
They should have had Sonya going like MMA or something. With
That's
that.
what I was hoping.
Like a takedown, and then you just see Rhonda like counter and put her in an armbar or something.
As soon as I saw her just get swatted away, I was like, gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
How come everyone slows? How come everyone throws fucking slow right hands? Like, and then she blocks them like fucking yeah, like full fucking karate.
I don't know.
Just fucking puts the chop up, and then she's blocking all these fucking punches.
I don't know, man. It's.
She looks
Might be like a trademark thing.
She's so awkward.
Yeah, I know.
Like when she does her fucking moves and stuff, like it's good, but you know.
You know what else is awkward? When we see more recaps that we've already seen.
Well, when do you want to know what's awkward?
What?
When you say that everything 6-man Finn's involved.
Wrestling related. Wrestling related. Sorry, Finn. Did not mean to imply. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah.
Finn Bukaki Bala.
That's Oscar.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh shit. But no, it's true. It's documented fact. But yes, like I said, recap.
It's a documentary.
Like I said, recap of the start of the show with the beatdown of Roman Reigns, and then, like I said earlier on in the show, Gallows and Anderson taking the Miz-Taraj away would lead to something, and that was this: Gallows and Anderson versus the Miz-Taraj, which we've already seen, I believe, twice in the last month, maybe even more. The club made their entrance, and we go to a commercial, so the Miz-Taraj don't even get an entrance, sucked in. Pretty basic match. Magic Killer on Curtis Axel for the win. And yeah, the club walk away with the victory. But there was a weird moment after the match, and that was the lights went out. Did you notice that?
No, I think the video clip I was watching, it cut a little bit out, so I missed a little bit.
Oh, the lights went out as soon as the match ended.
Yeah.
And then when the lights came back on, they went for their high five and totally missed it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So it was just like an awkward ending to the match. Like the lights.
Who was that?
Gallows and Anderson, they went for their high five and totally just missed.
Oh, what the fuck?
It was pretty funny. But yeah, how many Lance stars does the club versus the Miz-Taraj get? I'm going 1.
1. Oh,
I'm going 1 because I'm over it.
Oh, just give it 2.
The club deserves so much better. So much fucking better. Come on. Like, what are you doing? They're, like you said about Finn earlier, one of the best talents from New Japan, the original Bullet Club leader. Them two are the original Bullet Club, like, background. Plus, like, Bad Luck Fale and all the other OGs. But...
Yeah, the original 6.
Yeah.
The original 6-man.
Oh, this edition has taken a turn for the worst. So yeah, they deserve a bit more, man. I'm sick of seeing them versus the Miz-Taraj. I'm sick of the Miz-Taraj. I want to see the club win some belts or be put in some proper programs other than just being Finn Balor's lackeys. I don't want to see that. I want to see them actually pursue their own career as part of the club. So let's see what happens there. We then have Elias. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. He gets a good reception. He says that in 13 days, he will deliver the performance of a lifetime, which is obviously WrestleMania, but he isn't slated for WrestleMania. Nor does in this promo he announce a match for WrestleMania. It would seem like he was maybe going to announce his participation in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Same.
So then we knew Braun was getting a new partner.
But he didn't. He then went on to say that he was selling out Madison Square Garden a week ago, so naturally he's embarrassed to be here in Cleveland, and he starts dissing the town and singing a song, and he's interrupted by Rhino and Heath Slater. It's a jobber match, basically, between Elias and Rhino.
Bullshit.
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessarily a jobber match, but it
Rhino
was...
lost to Elias.
Yeah.
That's a jobber match.
Yeah,
That's fucking bullshit.
And then Elias beat down Heath Slater after the match, hit him with the drift away. How many 1 stars does this pointless match get?
0.
0 stars. Sorry, Elias.
No, I don't want to see Rhino booked like that. He's a fucking legend. And he's a fucking machine. Rhino is a machine.
Yeah, I know.
He would fucking tear through Elias. Just like fucking Braun will.
Yeah. Well, Braun did.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And now they're going to team up at WrestleMania and become tag team champions.
They better
Because, you know, that's how creative works.
Just let friggin' Braun win him by himself.
That's exactly what should happen. It's exactly what should happen. Announce his partner is Elias at WrestleMania, and then have Elias get beaten down before he gets to the ring. And then have Braun say, "See, I don't need a partner." Have Braun be the one that beats him up. Fuck it.
Just say he's already got partners. His hands.
Yeah.
These hands.
These hands.
These nuts.
These nuts. Got him. But that leads us into our last segment of the show. But before we start that, we are told that next week, once again, it will be Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
Yay.
Yay!
A rematch for the first ever Universal Championship. Whatever they're gonna freaking carry on about.
That we've seen like fucking 5
I
weeks.
betcha freaking, I'm gonna say it right now, Michael Cole, he's gonna bring it up, that they face each other for the Universal Championship.
Of course, these two were in the first ever Universal Championship match. Finn Balor exiting that match, the winner as the first ever Universal Champion. But
he lost it due to injury after one day. One day.
How long did you hold it? So yeah, I'm not at all excited for that, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because, like we were talking about on a recent edition, you know, when you see good talent in the ring, you should be like, oh, that's going to be a good match. But not when you saw it a week ago.
Yeah.
You know? Stretch them out. They've faced each other I don't even know how many times now on Monday Night Raw. That's pay-per-view talent. Stop putting them in matches together. Or singles matches, for that matter. You know? Spread them apart. Why is Elias getting Rhino? Why can't Finn Balor job out Rhino?
I don't know.
Or something like that. Like, if Rhino's gonna job, have him job to someone fucking worth it.
Just don't have Rhino freaking job. How stupid.
Just send him back to House of Hardcore where he'll get used properly. And that leads us into our main event, which is Big Match John versus KANE, the next president of the United States.
United States? I don't think it's United States.
Yeah.
He's a mayor.
Yeah, but that's what
a mayor for something.
That's what old mate, what's the face, Ross?
Yeah.
Calls him. Glenn Jacobs.
Oh yeah.
The next president of the United States. And I like it. I like that's what I'm going to refer to KANE as now from now on. John Cena made his entrance this week with a towel that he got from Ellen.
Yeah.
He likes to do that like every year. He gets a little gift from Ellen and promises to use it on the show, and he does because he's such a nice person. And then KANE is out second, of course, and like we said, no disqualification match. I actually liked this match. I didn't hate this match.
I don't see why it had to be no disqualification.
Did you see?
It was just so random.
Did you see KANE's belly?
Yeah. Well, fuck.
I'm really sad, man. I was watching one of the past Rumbles the other day, yesterday I think it was. I swear it might have been like 2015 or 16, and he came down as Corporate Kane. Might have even been 2014 actually. I think it was the year he screwed over CM Punk.
Yeah.
And he looked like solid. He was jacked, and you know now you look at him.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the ring. I don't reckon he would have been training much if he's doing all this friggin'
mayoral campaign stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that mad chest hair cranking.
Yeah. Mad dad body.
Yeah. But they didn't make him look weak in this match, which is good. It wasn't just a beatdown by CENA. It was kind of back and forth here and there. Undertaker chants throughout the match, which was pretty bad because, you know, it's Kane in the match. Like, give your boys some recognition.
They're probably just hoping for him to be there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, man. And like we've stated, though, we don't believe he will be there until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Our prediction is that he will show up with Kid Rock performing his theme.
I don't reckon that.
I do.
I don't, because if they're going to have him come back as the badass, it needs to be a surprise. And if Kid Rock's on stage, ready to play his song,
People know.
boom, that's just wrecked the surprise.
They could just hype that Kid Rock's going to have a perform one of his songs, and then, you know, after, bang, lead straight into it. CENA not even in the ring yet. No. Taker comes out first, bang.
No, because CENA's got to come out first and then be like, you know, just be standing there thinking, is he going to get a match? Is he not?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He could even be sitting in the crowd just waiting.
Just fuck it then, just come back with...
Just have his gear on just in case.
Boom, dead man walking. You done it now.
Fuck that.
Gonna make a big mistake.
American Badass.
American Badass. Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping for. That's my favourite Undertaker. But CENA in this match was mocking the dead man. You know, sitting up to when he's cut throats, choke slamming Kane with one of the worst choke slams I've ever seen.
Just disrespected him.
Yeah, totally disrespecting him.
If they're doing this, why don't they just have him fucking full heel way?
Yeah, I know.
So stupid.
CENA eventually gets the victory, of course. Winner, Big Match John.
The victory.
The victory. Yeah, Big Match John comes out. I believe it was an AA through the table that got him the 3 count. And then it has CENA looking around, waiting for something to happen. But nothing happens.
No lightning?
Yeah, no bells of terror. No Undertaker.
It was going. He's a fucking idiot.
He yells Taker later on like he's in a movie. He's like, this is a match with no rules. Anything could happen and anyone could be here. And he asks, where are you? Undertaker! Like he's in a film.
Yeah.
Stella! The crowd starts chanting for Undertaker and he holds up the mic. He says he knows you're not deaf. He's just a coward. Once again, calling Undertaker a coward. And he says, sold out crowd after sold out crowd. They chant your name and then they chant for the Undertaker again. And he says that you don't get to be mysterious here. It's either a yes or a no. Then we have yes chants. Then it looked like he got really mad. He's like, I'm fine with a no, but get your eyes out of the back of your head and look at the energy when they chant yes or the Undertaker or do something for Christ's sake. When he said for Christ's sake, it looked like he was choking. And then once again we had do something chants. The crowd was very active in this segment because they were hoping that we were going to get something. And then he goes on to say there is one more week before WrestleMania. There's one more week of Raw to do something or do nothing. But if you do nothing, it proves you only care about yourself, and I hope for the sake of everything good in this ring that I see you next week. And we went off the air with that segment.
You better not see him next week.
Yeah, if he shows up next week, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. He needs to just show up at Mania. That's
or
it.
not,
That's
or
it.
not show up at all. If he doesn't show up at all, but I'm going to be mad. Because you can't hype me like this.
It'll be a friggin' WrestleMania moment.
Chokeslam victory.
Yeah, he needs the win. Fuck, if CENA wins, I'm going to be so cut. So cut.
Big match, John.
Fuck Big Match John. Big Match John just needs to fuck off.
Hey, go do his movies.
Hey.
You're good at him. You're good at him.
Like, seeing him on Raw and SmackDown, they're just chucking him in there, like,
For no point.
for no point.
Other than to have him there.
He doesn't seem like he's a part of the rosters, like...
Because he's a free agent, man. He comes out in his green shirt, so he's neutral.
Fuck off. He's gay! Worldwide gay!
Thank God they weren't on the Raw
Yeah,
this week.
fuck yes.
Oh dear. So yeah, that ends Raw this week. As a whole, what did you think?
It was good, but...
Could have been better.
Yeah, good segments. Yeah, it just could have been... Like, they're trying to build towards Mania. Come on, give us some friggin' explosiveness.
Well, the brawl between Bailey and Sasha was a bit of a shock. But it could have been a bit bigger.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that match.
Yeah, no, me neither.
The Brock Lesnar Reigns was done perfect.
Yeah, that was probably the best moment of the night, other than when we had Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Strowman.
Yeah, Strowman.
Rousey's little couple of moves.
And she's looking a bit more comfortable in her role now, which is good. I just want to see what she can actually do in a match. But the thing is going to be Stephanie.
Yes, I was just thinking about it before. Like, as I was saying, like, when people, they go to throw the hits at her, they throw... It's like real slow shots. Like, it's a real slow swing, and she's putting up the fucking karate chop and shit.
Yeah.
And it, like, it's real awkward too.
Mm.
So, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be able to do this.
We'll see. We'll see in 2 weeks.
I can see this being one of those, like, big edited matches.
Well...
Like, it'll be live, but then it'll be edited.
Yeah, we'll get to see the fuck-ups in all of their glory, and then never to be seen again.
That's it.
We're
going to see Timmy the cameraman just pop up in the shots, eh?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Run for Undertaker's entrance. Across the stage, almost get hit by his black.
Oh, far out, man. Well, yeah, that I believe that brings us to the end of our weekly Raw review. Are we going to be doing a SmackDown podcast this week?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. We'll be doing a SmackDown podcast this week. Last week you got to see my face. This week you will only get to hear my voice again.
Feel sorry for yous.
Yeah, sorry guys.
What a head.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a hat. If I'd had a hat, it would have been perfect. But yeah, we'll be coming back at you guys in a couple of days with our weekly SmackDown review. Before we go, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure your notifications are turned on, so that way you can be informed when my good colleague and myself upload a new piece of material. Because who doesn't want to listen to Wrestle Report Australia? It's the only place to go to get these pods. As always, I've been Mike, this has been Lon.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we are the newest team, bringing you all the news in the wrestling world and the fight game. Until next time,
Doses.
China.